It's called Rain and Chocolate. Um, the cloudy gray sky greeted me as I walked on the moist Parisian streets. I was certain that I would be able to reach the building before it began to rain. Apparently, I was wrong. Strangely enough, the streets weren't empty. Quite the opposite, in fact. The rainy and chilly weather does not bother the Parisians. They walked on the sidewalks, couples hand in hand, groups of adolescent friends, lonely elders walking with their dogs. The street lamps soon lightened up and showered the gray streets with orange light, and the cafes and stores began, one by one, to follow suit. It nearly made me wish to stay outside in the rain, but the need to lay down overwhelmed me. It was a tall old building with paint peeling off the walls on the outside. On the inside, it was incredibly well renovated in a style that preserved the original looks of the building. I lived in an apartment that I rented from a writer who practically lived in her office. I had been there only once, but once was enough to understand her love for the room. She had filled it with books, shelves, tables, and even cupboards of them. The big windows filling the rest of the space were surrounded with comfortable couches and chairs and a small table where she worked. She would stay there forever if she did not have to move around to take care of her physical needs, or feed her cat, or do a dozen other things that the world required from her. Yet it was not part of her personality to observe the minor things she had to do every day, for she truly lived in her world, in quiet. By the time I arrived, my long wine-red gown, a dolce that I had worked for months to be able to buy from the special reception in the presidential palace I had been invited to and just attended, had gotten so wet under my coat that if I had simply pulled it out from the washing machine and put it on me, nobody would have noticed the difference between the two scenarios. But once I entered the kitchen, an intricate smell greeted me. I recognized it immediately. Chocolate. Sweet brown cream. With small, white, even softer mountain of deliciousness on top. The whipped cream still fresh, adding to the sugary flavor. A chocolate pie awaited me, fresh in the kitchen counter. A note lay next to it, written in a delicate handwriting. Happiness, simple as a glass of chocolate or torturous as the heart, bitter, sweet, alive, by Joan Harris from Chocolat. And there's actually a movie that you could have seen. I grinned. Yes, happiness was like chocolate, and chocolate inspired happiness. My landlady knew how to make the darkest day taste sweet.